Hey there, how's it going everybody? So there's a lot of exciting things occurring back here in this backyard food forest, and this is just one of them that I want to share with you today. So this plant here is a cross of lacinato kale, also known as dino kale, and purple tree collards. There's perhaps some other parentage within its DNA as I grow other Brassica oleracea in this garden, but this plant here was grown from seed that I'd collected from one of those dino kales, and throughout its entire life cycle, just a typical kale plant. But what can happen is when you have plants that are in the same family, same genus, in this case it's Brassica oleracea, they can cross-pollinate and create hybrids like what we see here. And just check out how large these leaves are. They're enormous. Now, one of the main reasons this plant is so special is because we're in the middle of summer right now. Today is August 6, 2017, and this plant receives full sun throughout the day and is growing absolutely abundantly. This can be somewhat challenging when trying to grow edible greens throughout the hotter summer months. So over in this area of the garden, I've got several different purple tree collards growing, and as you can see, they're looking a bit sparse at the moment. That's because these plants don't do particularly well in the summer months, and they actually don't taste as good. They're not as sweet in the summer as well. But come October, November, these plants will start to push out a whole bunch of new growth, become extremely abundant, very delicious, but they're just not as useful during the summer months. This plant over here, however, has been doing extremely well in the heat. It's been pushing off an abundance of new growth, and the leaves are extremely large, dark green color, and there's absolutely no sign of any type of mildew or disease on these plants. So this plant here is growing atop what's known as a hugelkultur mound. And if we look at the base here, you can see just how dry the top of the mound is. As you get deeper, there is moisture. I have given this mound some water, but the point I want to make is you can see the roots. They're diving deep into this mound, mining some of that moisture as well as nutrients. And I do have other examples throughout the garden of plants that are very similar to this, if not the same, grown from the same seed batch. Back over here in the chicken coop area, you can see there's another one of these plants growing up, although you can't count on it being exactly the same, because when you do have a cross-pollination and hybridized seeds that you're planting, variances can occur from plant to plant, and you can see different traits pronounce themselves. And here's another one back over here. Again, looks pretty much the same. And another one over here. But out of all those examples I just showed you, this one here by far has the largest leaves forming and just appears to be the most healthy. So if I want to regrow this exact same plant or clone it, then what I need to do is propagate it from cuttings. As we look closer to the plant, just like with the purple tree collards, it's growing all these offshoots. Now each one of these offshoots can be harvested and propagated to form a new plant, which will be exactly the same as this mother plant here. After those cuttings take and are rooted, I will proliferate them out and put them through a series of tests, testing its heat tolerance, cold tolerance, and to make sure it's a perennial, to see how long it's going to live and how long it's going to keep producing in an abundant fashion. So whether we're talking about purple tree collards, or something like this tree kale hybrid here, generally speaking, even though they're perennial, after about 4 or 5 years or so, they'll stop producing as abundantly. So you want to keep your stock rotating. So over the years, I've had many occurrences where some of the seeds that I've collected from my Brassica oleracea have developed into tree collard-like plants. And so far, this plant right here, by far, is the most impressive that I've seen. And most importantly, they taste great. Excellent in a salad, smoothie, sauté. And I just want to encourage anybody watching this video to go ahead and experiment with this a little bit yourself. What you're going to want to do is pick up some perennial tree collards, purple tree collards are what I grow back here, and then go ahead and grow different curly kales, dino kales, collard plants, and then collect seeds and plant those out in your garden, let them grow up and observe what different traits you come up with. You never know, you might come up with the next greatest thing when it comes to growing greens.